What's up, guys? Hook here. Man, it has been forever since I've posted anything DCS related, and today I'm going to do something a little different. Not to copycat, but I've been watching Growling Sidewinder's videos a lot, and I really enjoy a lot of the tactical commentary he provides with this TAC view. Now, I'm not going to do anything quite as fancy as that, and I certainly won't want to steal his thunder. But I thought it would be fun to maybe try some commentary on some of the stuff I actually do in DCS. So today, we are in Growling Sidewinder server. I'm flying a J-11A here, and I'm going to go through and provide some commentary on this multiplayer sortie. This is a really successful multiplayer sortie for me. I really enjoyed it, and I thought I would just kind of throw it out there. Maybe you guys can critique some things I did wrong. Maybe you can benefit from some of the tactics I use, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. So we'll kind of start off with what I was carrying, and as a side note, excuse the lower graphics settings. I know it's not particularly pretty, but this is my VR setup in 2D, so the graphics are set up more for VR. So I was carrying ×4 R-73s on the outboard and wingtip pylons. 2 R-27 ETs. I really like those missiles. The fact that they can be fired with little warning to the enemy makes them really useful. And we went supersonic. And I've got 4 R-77s because I am in the J-11. And of course the J-11 can use those active radar homing missiles. Sonic boom. Alright, so here we go, guys. Right now I just came out of Tbilisi. Looks like I'm getting fairly close to the front line, and you know, I guess a lot of my roots in flying in PvP still lie with the MiG-21, right? Like, you know, one of the first planes I really flew a lot in PvP was the MiG-21, and I think that you can take the pilot out of the MiG-21 in DCS, but you can't take the MiG-21 out of the pilot. What I mean is, I still fly like a MiG-21 pilot. I mean, I'm down in the weeds, you know, I'm flying in the ground, I'm using a lot of ambush tactics, and it kind of works for me. I mean, it's what I do, and it's a way I kind of enjoy flying. You might call it a cheap shot, and that might be true, but I'm pretty successful with it, and it's my style. Getting up there in the clouds, you know, contrailing, all that good stuff. I usually get my ass kicked when I go toe-to-toe, so I'm still very much a bushwhacker type of pilot, as will be evidenced by my flying here. So I'm going to pick it up here at the first engagement. Alright, guys, and this is one of my first engagements. I remember this one. On my radar, I have my data link up, and I could see a friendly being chased by some type of bandit. I wasn't sure exactly what the bandit was. I just knew it was hostile. So here I pop up, and I do get a lock on my friendly, who's contrailing. I'm like, okay, well, he's friendly, and I'm not going to mess with him because, you know, I don't want to kill a friendly. Oops. The other thing that is important for me strategy-wise here is the management of my radar and my electro-optical sensors. I keep them off, and radar off and electro-optical on, and rely on that data link as much as possible. Big reason for that is, you know, I want that ambush, I want that stealth kind of thing. And usually right before I fire BVR missiles, I'll turn on both arrays, fire, then go back to electro-optical, you know, and see how I do. So at this point, I'm still looking for that bandit. I know he's out there, and I feel like I just kind of gave myself away by popping up like that. But you can see that I'm lighting my burners and presumably climbing towards that contact. Let's see if he shows up on the F10 map. So my friendly F-16 has passed me, and I fired, looks like an R-77. Yes, it was. So let's see what that missile did, because this is something that you know, I don't know in hindsight what happened with that missile. I remember locking on and firing it. Looks like you can't follow missiles. I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, missile was fired. No success. This guy started climbing out, and started contrailing, it looked like. So there I just released, looks like an R-27 ET. Again, sneaky, dirty missile. He had absolutely no clue that I fired it. And that's my first kill of the sortie. Pretty sweet. Looks like I got a... Let's see if we can free cam and see what that was. I actually don't know. Well, it just it just disintegrated. So I guess we'll never know. But good game to whoever that was. At this point, I start climbing for the ground again to get back into the weeds. Big reason for that is I saw on my radar that I had a lot of bad guys heading for me after I killed that dude, so it was about to get ugly. So we'll pick it up here. So when I say I fly in the weeds, guys, you can see I'm really not joking. Like I said, when I'm out here by myself, especially 4 versus 1, I definitely keep my plane down and dirty. I notch the radars as much as possible. I keep my radar off to try to keep myself from being given away, and I fly very defensively, I guess you would say, to get into the enemy's battle space. You can have a lot of success doing this, especially if you're outgunned and outnumbered, so that's typically how I approach these fights. Sorry about that, guys. So we are back, and I have just released 2 R-77s. And you guys can see I've got it in slow motion here, that after I fire those missiles, I start cranking. At this point, I had been locked up by the guy off of my nose, and he was pretty close. I don't know why. See, it's really annoying. I can't watch my missiles there. So what we may do is try free camming here. It's going to be tricky, but bear with me. Alright, there we go. I feel like I'm doing a grudge match again. Alright, so we'll follow me and we'll slow things down when it gets interesting. I break right over the hillside here. And I know the bandit is out here somewhere. Yeah, there he is by 12 o'clock, I think. You can see that dot forming. So at this point, I want to get closer to him. I knew that both of my R-77s missed because they hit the hillside trying to catch up with him. He looks like he wisely broke for the ground. So I dispensed some flares. I tried to notch. I turned 90 degrees away from the contact in an attempt to notch while throwing some chaff out. Sorry, chaff. And it did seem to work to an extent, and here I am merged. Let's slow this down. So it looks like I just passed an F-15. He sees me about the same time I see him, and this is one situation where that, sorry, I'm getting us a better view here, that R-20, or I'm sorry, that Su-27 base to J-11 really paid off for me here. Watch how this plays out. The F-14 and I find ourselves in a turning fight. You can see he turns wide. He can't quite keep up with my turn performance, and he loses sight of me. Once he loses sight of me, he's lost the fight. I fire one R-73. It didn't track. Looks like he saw that missile launch, so he's trying to turn back into me here. And then we'll slow it down again here. He sees that missile launch, so now he's dispensing flares wisely. Trying to pull some pretty decent evasive crank here. But at this point, with that missile coming in, it's probably too late for him. Yep, and he's hit. So the second kill of the sortie right there. Good fight to that guy, whoever he was. It was really just a matter of turn performance and keeping sight that probably helped me out there. In this case, you know, I think what really went wrong for him is he cranked pretty hard when we first passed each other, but I think he lost me off his 6 o'clock, and I think that's really what cost him the fight there, because that gave me those 2 opportunities to get in that heat-seeking missile shooting position and get the kill. Okay, so now things get really fun. I am running like hell because I have 3 bandits descending onto my lone J-11A here. I zoomed out my data link display and find out that I have all of one friendly coming towards me to help me out. So I'm being constantly locked, spiked, constantly fired on at this point. It just gets insane. And I make a couple tactical decisions as this goes on that I think should be pretty interesting. So we'll pick it up there in a second. Missed this one, sorry. I turned back and had a bandit coming right at me. So I turned and fired ×2 on him, and did get a successful hit, and I think that was the F-14. So what happened, and I doing a track replay, so it's a huge pain to go back, unfortunately. But I was being chased by an aircraft, and it was turned out to be an F-14. So I got on the other side of this hill, turned and burned right into him and fired those 2 IR missiles before he could react. Got the kill. So that's kill number 4. And I'm still being chased, still, by two other Blue 4.